Hello everybody and welcome to live coverage of this Championship North match between Inverness Caledonian Thistle and Westdyke. If you've been waiting for a kick-off a little bit, I have to apologise for that. There was an injury, a serious injury in the game before, which has meant we've had to change pitch here and it's a slightly delayed kick-off to give everybody time to warm up. But as you can see, we're just about to get underway. Caley Thistle are on a good run of form. They can go third in the league this afternoon as well with the victory after Drybrough lost to league leaders Montrose earlier today. Westdyke, on the other hand, are on a bit of a losing run. They haven't won since September 12th. Couldn't run you through the teams in just a second, but looks like referee's about to get us underway when the Caley Thistle players here disperse from their huddle. For Inverness in goal this afternoon, number 1, Sarah Murphy, playing her last game for the club, it should be said, before she relocates out to the east coast of Scotland. Number 2, Rachel Gillies. Number 3, Julia Scott. Number 23, Laura McKeever. Number 5, Kaylee McKenzie. 7, Captain Kirsty Deans. 20, Charlotte Arrowsmith. 8, Alex Andrews. 9, Hannah Gordon. 14, Becky Dingwall. And 11, Natalie Bodium as the game gets underway here. Inverness substitutes this afternoon. Number 15, Lauren Donald. 19, Robin Evans. 21, Tina Kelly. 26, Rhea Hossack. And number 24, Abby Ross. You see here's an early touch for Murphy. Looks to pick out Scott playing the right wing again this afternoon. Down the line to Hannah Gordon. She's got a couple of options inside. She tries to go back. Bit of luck there to get to Scott, but it does get through to her eventually. And it's out for a Caley Thistle throw-in. The visitors this afternoon, Westdyke, number 1's Kiara Mulligan. Number 2, Katrina Innes. Number 5, Naomi Lund. 6, Emma Murray. 8, Chloe Ferries. 11, Kiara Craig. 14, Nairn McAllen. 15, Dawn Law. 16, Lindsay Brown. 18, Lauren Masson. And 21, Leah Rennie. Westdyke have 1 fewer substitute than Inverness. Number 4, Erin Cordner. 7, Bethany Cochran. 12, Caitlin Milne. And 22, Caitlin Watt. And it is Westdyke with the ball at the minute with the throw-in, trying to get it out their half, but it's Deans that picks it up. Looks straight away to Bodium on the left. Doesn't quite manage to take it under control, and she can't quite keep it in either. There's been plenty of goals for Caley Thistle over the last few weeks. Sure, will be looking for a few more today. They all have got that incentive of moving up in the league table. Talking to manager Karen Mason before the match, she's saying it's a 1 spot at a time. They did have hopes of winning the Championship North title at the start of the season. A couple of poor results early on and meant they have to battle from behind in the race to get promoted this year, but getting up to 3rd definitely put them back in the mix. Of course, the top 2 each have a chance of going up. 2nd place goes into a playoff. So every little helps at this time of the year. There's Westdyke. It was Ferries and Dingwall battling it out there for the ball. Westdyke throwing. Good hold-up play there actually, but it's a poor pass that gives it away. Inverness looks to get it forward quickly. It's Gordon looking for the through ball through to Scott. Can she keep it in? Not quite. Sliding effort from Scott. She tried to get there. Just very slightly out of reach. And again, it's a high press from Inverness trying to keep Westdyke in their own half, and they got the throw-in back. Be happy enough with that. The referee's giving it to Westdyke actually. Didn't look like it came off a Caley Thistle player, but the referee pretty confident in his decision. The throw comes in, and that's Arrowsmith winning it back. Tries to pick a gap in the middle. And there's a lot of space here on the right for Westdyke. Ferries with the ball, closed down quite quickly by McKeever. She manages to win the ball back and win the throw-in. Not sure where Becky Dingwall went at left back there, but so much space for Westdyke. Pass wasn't the best. Did get it under control, but didn't let her run into it and take advantage of the gap in front of her. Deans misjudges that one. And McKeever with the punt upfield. Here's Gordon trying to take under control. It's not the best of touches, but she gets away with it really, as long as Dingwall can get to this one. She does, but only clears it as far as Ferries. Now looks to move forward. Ball played through for McAllen. It's just a little bit overhit, and it's gone out for an Inverness throw-in. Inverness goal kick, rather. Of course, you probably have to cut everybody a bit of leeway after the delays that we had. They're standing around for a bit in what is quite a cold afternoon, a bit of rain around, a bit of wind as well. It's the visitors that have started more strongly of the two here. It's McCallan with the ball, plays it into the middle. It's Rennie with the shot and it's in! It's 1-0 to Westdyke. It has to be said, that was a cracking finish from Leah Rennie. But maybe a bit too easy from Callie Thistle's point of view. Just allowed the visitors far too much time in the ball, didn't get them under enough pressure. And now Inverness have to try and respond early on here. A nice idea there from Gillies to try and play it down to Scott, but didn't quite come off. There's another throw in for Westdyke on their left-hand side. Andrews forced to turn back to our own goalkeeper. Gives it back to Murphy. One ball forward, looking for Arsmith. Looks to be playing a more central role this afternoon alongside Deans. That's a mistake from McKeever. She had to stretch for that one. Alex Andrews gets back, covers well to spare her blushes. Nice bit of closing down from Mackenzie there. Started the bit of play that got Inverness the ball back. Let's come out to Bodiam now on the left. Tries to play it to Gordon, but that's overhit. It's not quite clicking in the early going for Callie Thistle. We know there are plenty of goals in this Inverness team though. They beat Dundee West 7-0 away from home last time out. They beat Stonehaven 9-0 the week before that, last time we were streaming a match. Also beat Grampian 12-2 in the middle of that. Beat Dunfermline 6-0, although that match doesn't count to the record anymore after Dunfermline pulled out of the league. Plenty of goals in this team. As the header comes in. That's Dingwall looking for Gordon. Westdyke managed to just about clear, but Gordon's still trying to win it back. The ball does come through to Bodiam on the left. Closed down pretty well there though by Masson. It's gone out for an Inverness corner. We have had a few goals from set pieces over the last few weeks. Bodiam goes over to take. Got Arsmith in the middle, Mackenzie, Gordon, Deans, McKeever joining them now. Scott in around the 6-yard box. Who's Bodiam going to try and pick out? Looks like it's going from McKeever. It's come through to Arsmith. Shot scuffed, but it's in. Kirsty Deans, the captain, manages to put it away. Pounces on the loose ball. Did just say they managed to get a few goals from set pieces over the last few weeks, and that's another one to add to the tally. Inverness back in this straight away. Back underway now as Westdyke tried to move forward. It is quite a young Westdyke team. They would have been pretty happy to take the lead, but going to have to show some character now that Inverness have got a goal back. It's a poor ball from Murphy and it's going out for a Westdyke throw in. It's going to be Innes to take this one. Number 2, but playing it left back for the visitors. She'll come into the middle of the park now. She's about to get it back, but it is still another Westdyke throw-in. It's a bit of a breather for everybody to reset as they get the ball back. It's another frantic start. Last time, of course, we were on the stream. Kelly McKenzie scored a couple of goals in the opening minutes to give Callie Thistle a dominant early position against Stonehaven. Hasn't quite been their own way, but still plenty of early action. Arsmith looks for options ahead of her. Opts to go for Mackenzie. Can't get it under control, but that's a scuffed clearance. Can't get it away. Well, it has now come out to Ferries on the right for Westdyke. Just about manages to keep it in, but under pressure from Dingwall. Bodiam comes back as well to pick up the loose ball. Gives it to Murphy's. Gordon in there trying to win it back, and referee says she's giving away another throw-in. On the right hand side now for Westdyke. Comes into McCallan. Under pressure from McKeever. I think that's Deans that ended up getting a foot in there to make the tackle. Gordon tries to switch play to the right hand side. Gillies moves forward with the ball. Gives it to Scott. Bit of space for her to run into if she wants it. She cuts back in instead. Here's Deans now. Again looking for options. He's come out to Dingwall on the left. It's not the best of touches. Again, it's a Westdyke throw-in. Bit of pinball over on that far side for us here. This time it's a Cali Thistle throw. What can they do with it? It's come to Gordon. Looks to move inside first touch. Give it to Arrowsmith. Got options to the side of her. It's a little bit behind Gillies though. It's gone out for another throw. Little bit of confusion there from Westdyke because Innes didn't realise it was their ball, but she's there to take the throw in now. Looking for a bit more movement ahead of her. It's going to be another Westdyke throw in. Have a scrappy start, but they keep managing to move forward with the ball. Even if only through about set pieces, but it's come through here. Nearly fell for Gordon. She couldn't quite get onto the end of it before Law managed to get a foot in. There's plenty of space again for Ferries on the right hand side. Manages to give it to McCallan. I think that's an offside given against her. Much as Cali Thistle like to go forward and use the wings when they have possession, back four staying fairly narrow, which is giving Westdyke a bit of an out ball when they're under pressure. It's a nice touch from Gordon through Bodium, but can't quite get around it. It's a nice idea, but she almost didn't know which side of the ball to be at there to take it under control and ended up running out of space. As Alex Andrews now chasing down this loose ball. She's going to be put under pressure here. She does well to check back inside. Gives it to Deans. What options does she have? She's got Scott out to the right wing. It's a good ball if she can keep this in, and she will. Got Arrowsmith going ahead of her. Mackenzie in there as well. It's 2-1 to Cali Thistle. Really nice passes of play there from Deans out to Scott through to Mackenzie. Pinpoint accuracy with the passing. Probably haven't seen enough of that as yet in this match, but took full advantage there. It's 2-1 to Inverness. Last time we saw them, they took the lead. It was pretty much one-way traffic from there. So it was a young team from Westdyke. They will have to respond now. Can't try and hold on for a draw. Another break and play here again as we get the ball back for a throw-in. It's to Westdyke again, but this time on the right-hand side. It's going to be Lynn to take it. Looks for Ferris. That's a good touch to get past Bodium, but the pass isn't brilliant. A little bit more pinball in the middle of the box. Who wants it? Who could take control of it? Well, it's Deans that gives it out to Scott once again. Oh, I think she's a little bit on her heels. Arrowsmith now looking to give it through to Gordon, but doesn't really come off. Deans again trying to win the ball back. Ends up being Andrews that clears it. Mason barking some positional orders to our defenders there, trying to rectify the amount of space that Westdyke are getting down their right hand side early on. Arrowsmith gives it back to Murphy. Good ball out to Bodium on the left. She is facing her own goal though, so she has to turn. Gives it to Gordon inside. Manages to find Deans, who again looks for the ball through to Scott. Again, she's got space to run into. Good covering from Craig, and she wins the ball back as well before she's stopped in her tracks by Gillies. Throw coming in now. Looking for Murray. In fact, it goes over her to Rennie, goal scorer for Westdyke. Inverness have won it back quickly and look to play it through to Scott on the right. It's a smart pass Cross comes into the middle. It's too close to the goalkeeper though. Westside keeper plays it out quickly, but the ball bounces over Ferries. Although Dingwall's giving her another chance. So Ferries now moving it into the middle with McAllen. Let's give it back out to the right hand side. Dingwall trying to get back, can't quite make it before. That's a bit of a collision there between Rennie and Murphy. It's a corner kick, I believe, that's been given. But Murphy's down. Looks like she's going to need a little bit of treatment here. Murphy did well to get out to that and close down Rennie, make sure she couldn't get a clear shot at goal at least. Could have been in for her second of the afternoon to level things up again for Westdyke, but this is a concern for Inverness. Got no recognised goalkeeper on the bench. So if Murphy, for any reason, can't continue here, there's going to be a bit of a question mark as to what happens. Looks to be a good bit of discomfort, but of course, in the past when Inverness have been really struggling for an option goal, Cara Mason's gone in herself. She isn't listed as a substitute today. So be giving Murphy all the time she needs in the hope that she can continue. Sad, I was reading out the team sheet earlier on. It's Murphy's last game for Caley Thistle. She's about to move out to Aberdeen. She'll want to go out putting in a good performance, helping Inverness to another result. I thought it was a corner that was given. It's actually a penalty. The referee was pointing to the spot. Not entirely sure about that one, but it is an opportunity for Westdyke to level things up. It's going to be Emma Murray to take it. Murphy back on, waiting for this one. That's a good penalty though, right in the corner. And it is 2-2. I suppose a little bit of good, but a bit more bad from Caley Thistle there. Murphy can continue. She still looks in a little bit of discomfort. But perhaps more importantly for them, Westdyke are back on level terms. Of course, if Inverness goalkeeper is injured, the best thing for them to do is to keep the ball and keep going forward and not give her much to actually do in this match. And the ball comes in for Mackenzie, doesn't quite get there. Deans looks to keep the ball alive. It's closed down well. Gordon there trying to win it back, but it's come out. And here's Andrews. Bit of a test now for Murphy. Looks like she was quite happy to take that one, so fingers crossed she's alright. Here's Gordon now. Come back to Andrews. Has the option again to go back to her goalkeeper, which she takes. Slightly sliced ball forward, but does go to a teammate, thankfully, for Murphy. Now here's Deans, look at move forward, gives it to Arrowsmith. McKeever looks to play it forward to Bodiam. Looks ahead of her for options, gives it to Mackenzie. Looked to play the return ball, didn't quite come off. It's a Westdyke throw-in. It's been a bit scrappy so far, a lot of passes going astray. A lot of throw-ins, which isn't always uncommon. I'm not sure how much the conditions have to do with that. Westdyke have the ball again from the throw-in. Looks to play it through for Rennie, but she looks to be on her heels a little bit there and doesn't get it. Here's Deans instead, looks to find Scott. It's not going to get her with that. She's McAllen trying to weave her way through Inverness's attackers who are closing her down. In fact, she's got it again here. Bit of a heavy touch gives it away though. And Deans back to Scott. You can tell how much Caley Thistle like that ball. plays it down the line for Hannah Gordon. She's got a couple of options supporting her and a couple of options in the box to aim for. She looks to play into the middle, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick. We're not entirely sure what to expect from Westdyke this afternoon going into the match. One of the few teams in the league that Inverness haven't played yet this year, not even in a pre-season friendly. Looking at their record, you'd have expected Inverness to be the favourites, but it hasn't really worked out that way so far. Westdyke been more than a match for them. Gordon tries to restore a lead for Callie Thistle. She does earn throw-in on the right-hand side. Scott trying to take it quickly, but not really too many options around her. High ball into the middle. Deans looks to take it under control. She's going to be forced backwards, I think, here. She turns back into the middle of the pitch and plays it out left to Dingwall. Dingwall down the line to Bodiam. Can she keep it in? Not quite. Things are not quite happening for Inverness as yet. It probably says something about the quality that they have, that even when they're not quite playing at their best, things aren't really coming off for them the way they would expect. Still scored 2 goals. Mackenzie getting a foot in there. Inverness throwing. Bodiam again looks to take quickly. Gives it back to Mackenzie. She's got Scott out to her right, but tried to find Gordon. Overhit the pass. Mulligan with the kick forward for Westdyke. Kind of bounces between Ferries and Dingwall a little bit. Comes off the Callie Thistle defender and goes out for another throw-in. That's a good ball through. It's going to be Brown charging through. It's a 3-on-3 here for Westdyke. Brown uses her pace, has a shot at goal. It's a good save from Murphy. Tried to catch her out at the near post, but she was matched to it. If there was any doubts about how she was feeling after the knock earlier on, that will put them to bed. It is still a Westdyke corner though. It's going to be Murray going out to take it. They've packed the box. Got 2 defenders back marking Hannah Gordon, but everybody else is right in that action. It's come through. It's McCallan that ended up trying to force it towards goal, but didn't really get a good connection on it. And clearance comes through. Gordon manages to hold it up and play it to Scott. She's got Mackenzie in the middle. Dean's looking for it as well. Deans gets it. Gordon's there with her too, but Deans takes it forward. Still got Mackenzie at the back post. Gives it to Gordon just on the edge of the box. And that pass isn't going to do the job. Still alive at Dingwall. Tries to find Bodiam. The pass is under hit and cut out by Lind, who looks to play it forward for Rennie. Akiva there cuts her out. But then her clearance is cut out as well. Their side is really dominating the middle of the park as yet. And that's a free kick for Westdyke. One of those matches, doesn't feel like we've managed to go more than about 30 seconds a minute without some sort of break and play, which I'm sure isn't helping either team, especially with the conditions we have. It has been worse, and I'm sure we'll get worse over the winter. When you're not used to it, it's still not particularly nice. As the free kick's long over the heads of everybody and out for a goal kick. Murphy takes this one short to Andrews. Plays it forward to Deans, and that's come out wide. What can Inverness do with this one? Play down the line to Scott. She's got Gordon inside her. Mackenzie looking to make a run. Matt Mackenzie still chasing this one. Wasn't really cleared by Westdyke. It's still alive, but that's an Inverness throw-in. Throws come into Mackenzie. Poor touch from just inside the box. Basically gives it away, but Inverness have got to throw in again. There's Gillies with it. Arsmith ahead of her. Mackenzie there. Scott as well. She wants to go back. She still likes to give to Gordon inside the middle. Getting the throw in, but they're not getting any sort of space or time to get the ball under control and turn, head towards goal. Scott with another throw. Try something different. It's Deans now. Back to Scott, but it's an awkward height for her to control it, and it's a Westdyke throw. Andrews picking up the loose ball inside the Westdyke half. It's a bit of a wild swipe into the middle, and Westdyke now look to move forward. McCallan has to try and check her run to stay on side. I think she just about managed it, but Dingwall's out to cover. Throw comes into Bodiam. Nice bit of skill to get over and past her defender. There's Mackenzie now, checks back. Deans shouts a switch hit from the sidelines. Gives it to McKeever. That's a bit of a loose ball. Gillies on her heels a wee bit. Murphy out well. Just about manages to take the ball in. Clear the pressure that was on the Inverness defence there. No sign yet of Westdyke tiring. They are quite a young team. Should be plenty of running in them. Could be a tricky afternoon for Inverness if it keeps going the way it is. This ball from Arsmith over the top looking for Gordon, but she's forced probably a bit wider than she would have liked. Looks to play it back inside to Arsmith. Tries at the second attempt, but Arsmith has stopped her run at that point. Here again, ball out to Farries on the right. Dingwall again trying to close her down quickly. This time Dingwall does well. Forces her back about 10 yards. Does concede the throw in, but she won't mind it too much conceding the throw in there. Much rather that than being halfway into her own half. McKeever wins the ball back, looks to play it through to Mackenzie first time. If you want to throw in. Podium takes it from Mackenzie. Again, put under pressure well and quickly. Really hasn't been too much time for Inverness in the ball, which has contributed to quite a few of the loose passes so far. Long ball bounces over the top. McKeever manages to get it away. She had to make that interception, otherwise I think that's McCallum would have been through one-on-one. Arsmith manages to get it to Deans, who looks to play a diagonal ball through. Gordon's the one chasing it. Westdyke keeper has to come out and takes it in. Andrews with a header there for the long kick forward from the Westdyke goalkeeper. It's come back over the top of the defence, and here's Rennie trying to close down McKeever. McKeever just about does enough. Murphy looking for options ahead of her, decides against giving it to Gillies. Instead kicks it forward, looking for Mackenzie. It's allowed to bounce. Gordon now going for it too. Cleared away. Mackenzie wins it this time, inside the Westdyke half. Scott, that's perfect, a bit of space to run into. Closed down well, but she does get the cross in. It's looped up high in the middle of the box. Gordon goes for the overhead kick. Doesn't connect with it cleanly, just enough to really get it through to Mulligan in the Westdyke goal. So they're trying to slow things down a little bit before launching another assault on the Inverness defence. It's more kicked into space than looking for anybody in particular. It's McKeever who'll get the loose ball, gives it back to her goalkeeper. First time pass, finds Deans who takes it down well. Plays it out to the right hand side. Scott this time comes short instead of making the run deep. Looks to play it back to Gillies down the right wing. Oh, nearly. Sliding challenge from Innes manages to cut it out, but it's another Inverness throw in. Throw comes in for Deans in the middle. Plays a 1-2 with Scott, and now she's on the edge of the box. Gives it to Mackenzie. I'm sure she would have been thinking about a shot, trying to find the angle. Doesn't quite work out for her. She just forced a little bit wide, still tried to get the shot in. Wasn't the worst of efforts, but from where she was, it's never really going to threaten the goalkeeper from there. Westdyke goal kick's not been taken by the goalkeeper. It's come to Inverness. Oh, it's Ball through. It's a nice idea looking for Scott, but just a little bit out of reach for her. That's a poor return ball from Brown for Westdyke. It's given it back to Inverness. Scott takes the throw in quickly, looking for Arrowsmith, and they've got a corner out of this now. I think they might only have had the one corner so far, and they've managed to get a goal from it. Can they do the same here and take the lead again? Scott taking the corner from this side. Again, plenty of options in the middle. Gillies going short as well. Bodiam doing the same. It's come all the way through to Mackenzie inside the box. Gives it back to Gillis, who tries to get a ball into the middle. It's all the way through to the goalkeeper. It was Dean trying to make a last-ditch effort to, I don't know if that's to put her off or to actually get anything on the ball, but Mulligan kept hold of it pretty well. Goal kick doesn't find a teammate though, and it's come again through to our opposite number. Murphy plays a simple pass to Gillies, gets it back. Playing forward from Mackenzie. That's a nice touch to get Gordon, who gives it back to her. She could be through here. Kelly Mackenzie for Callie Thistle. Oh, took the shot with her left foot and it's gone wide of the mark. You can see that she's frustrated with herself there. Bodiam was there in support in a bit of space, but you can't blame Mackenzie with the goal she's scored over the last few years for taking that on herself. Be disappointed she couldn't come up with a better effort than that one. Law, who's the one taking these goal kicks for Westdyke. So low ball this time for Ferries on the right. Plays a 1-2 with McAllen. I think she's got a bit of space here. Oh, she almost overruns the ball. Hits the back of her heel. It's gone out for a Callie Thistle throw-in. Maybe a bit of a let-off for Inverness there, because she did have a bit of space. And it was McKeever going over to cover at left back after she'd already gotten past Dingwall. Here's Bodiam with the flick. Mackenzie doesn't get it under control. Andrews rushes towards that to try and win it back. And now Deans gives it out to the right. Finally a bit of space for Inverness to get the ball down. It's through for Gordon this time, rather than going out wide. But again, she overruns it. That's a good ball through from Gillies through to Mackenzie. The ref whistle's already gone for offside. Again, right idea. It's a good ball through to Mackenzie, and her touch was good to get it out of her feet. Fortunately for her, she's past the last defender, so it's a Westdyke free kick. Just a reminder for anyone tuning in, we had a slightly late start to this match because of an injury in the match on these pitches beforehand, a serious injury. The player affected has now received medical treatment, but it means that we're not coming into the last 5 minutes of the first half, as we normally would be at this time. Got a little bit longer to go than that. Scores in the balance: Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2, Westdyke 2. It'd be very important for Inverness to win this. If they do, they'll go up to third after the results earlier on today, with the top two having a chance of promotion. Well, top spot will win the title and go automatically up. Second will go into a playoff for promotion to the SWPL2. That's the minimum target for Inverness this season. So a poor start, they've had to fight their way back, trying to catch up on the teams ahead of them. And they could go further behind here. It's Rennie one-on-one, but Murphy comes out well. It was a similar sort of situation earlier that she took a knock, so good bravery from Murphy there. She's put herself in the same position and come away with the ball this time. Inverness looking for options. Bodiam looks to play it first time to Arrowsmith. He manages to get her just ahead of the defender. That's a nice ball again from Bodiam through to Mackenzie. Tries to get it back out on the left. In fact, the referee's pulled play back for a foul on Mackenzie as she was playing that ball. She's just taking a second. Doesn't need any treatment. Just getting her breath back. Set piece for Inverness. Westdyke clearly expecting them to throw bodies forward. Got plenty of defenders back just outside their own box. Still a few shirts back for Inverness though. They're not overloading it by any means. It's But high ball played in. And that's a mistake from Mulligan. It's an easy tap in for Scott. High ball was played into the middle. Looked like it was aimed towards Gordon at the back post. Mulligan came for it and then I think just had a complete blank. Just let it hit her. Came back off Scott. A little bit of good fortune there, but Scott certainly wasn't saying no. 3-2 to Inverness. We're not right at the final stages of the first half, but there isn't a huge amount of time to go. We weren't delayed too badly. So Inverness trying to extend their lead, trying to charge forward. That's misjudged from McKeever. Manages to get back well. I think Inverness would be quite happy if they can take a lead into half-time here. They have been under the cosh at times. Good pressing from Westdyke, putting them under pressure. And they've taken advantage. A couple of times they've been through on goal. Of course, second goal being the penalty from a one-on-one opportunity where Murphy was deemed to have made the foul. But it is a good show of character. I was saying Westdyke might have needed that earlier. It's a good show of character from Cali Thistle. From a couple of disappointments, going 1-0 behind and then being pegged back to 2-2. To be back in a position where they're winning the game, looking to take all 3 points. Gillies looking for Gordon, tries to flick it on. Arsmith was making the run. Instead, Gordon gets beaten. High ball played through for Scott. She has got McKenzie and Bodium in the box. Looks towards the back post, but it's headed away by the Westdyke defender. Looks like she was reeling a little bit from that. She did her job well. Referee's just paused play a little bit here. Not entirely sure why. It's Inverness throw in now. Here's Gordon. She has got Scott with her. Gillies as well. Plays a 1-2 with Scott. Then she plays it through to Arsmith right on the edge of the box. She's forced backwards a little bit. It's unlucky there because it's a yard more space. She probably would have hit that towards goal. But as it is, it's still Cali Thistle with the ball. Here's Andrews. Very compressed now. Everybody within about 20 yards of each other inside the Westdyke half. It's a high defensive line, made it difficult for a ball over the top really to be played without anybody being offside. Mulligan with the kick forward. She's fine kicking to hand, but she doesn't take the goal kicks for some reason. As Andrews tries to move forward now. Squeezed out of possession. Ball through looking for Rennie. Here's McKeever trying to get over and cover. She does. Murphy gets out of her feet quickly and gives it to Gillies. Good ball forward from McKenzie, who gives it to Bodium. She's got space if she can get it out of her feet. She struggles a little bit with that, but she now has it again. Bodium always a threat, going down the left into the box, close towards goal. Ball's come all the way through. Deans keeps it alive on the other side of the box. Gives it to Arsmith on the edge. Back out to Gillies, puts the ball into the middle. Bodium coming back from an offside position, has to leave it, and it's out for a goal kick. I think that's the first time today we've seen one of those runs from Bodium. It's a trademark from her. Getting in behind the defenders, going round the outside, coming into the box, whether that's from the left side or the right. She was really unlucky a couple of weeks ago, last home game against Stonehaven. She got in that sort of position 3 or 4 times and she never quite managed to sort her feet out, or a last-ditch tackle came in, or the keeper managed to make a save. Couldn't get on the score sheet. And of course then it was absolutely one-way traffic. The result was barely in doubt from the opening minutes. Here it's been a much more back-and-forth encounter. Westdyke with another throw on the right-hand side. Right in line with the halfway line. Here's Arsmith. Finds Scott in the middle, but that's Craig coming back to make the interception. I don't think Scott knew she was there. Washouts of man on, but came out Scott's blind side. Managed to win the ball first. Deans gets it down, plays it through for Gordon. Looks to give it to McKenzie, but not quite as an interception is made again. You have to give credit to Westdyke for their work off the ball. They are making a lot of those interceptions, a lot of those tackles. As Mackenzie tries a shot from range, takes a deflection, doesn't really fall for Gordon. She wanted to pass instead. It's maybe a slightly speculative effort from Mackenzie, but we've seen her score from that sort of range in the past. Dingwall with the header. Miscommunication between her and Andrews almost allows Ferries in. McKeever manages to get the ball instead. Smith, a bit of a hit and hope pass forward there. Doesn't come off. It's a high ball now. It's Craig trying to get it under control. Andrews is there, McKeever I think, and then sorts it out. Good couple of passes there from Westdyke, but then poor bit of control. Sums up their half so far really. Some really good stuff from them, but also some poor touches, some wayward passes. Bodium takes the throw in quickly, gives it to Mackenzie down the line. Westdyke do have a player down in the middle of the park. The referee now sees it. Chance came to nothing anyway. Play wasn't stopped because of the player down injured. I'm sure Westdyke wouldn't have been too happy if Inverness had gone and scored from that. Masson who was down her, and she's signalling to her coach that she's going to need to come off. She's limping quite badly there. Just wait to see who's actually coming on from Masson here. Looks like there's a couple of substitutes who had an eye on it, but change has now been made. And it's Erin Cordner who's come on. Looks like she's going to slot straight into the left back. With Ennis going far into the middle, but here's a shot from Gordon. Straight at the goalkeeper, but she doesn't manage to hold on to it. Keeps it alive, and that should be a Westdyke throw, and it is. Comes in Scott with the header. Gordon put under pressure just right as she gets the ball. She does well to find a little bit of space on the right. She's eventually crowded out. Just too many Westdyke shirts there. Guys, good tackle to break up the momentum, but Westdyke trying to break forward now. It's Craig who can't quite get there. McKeever makes the interception and plays the ball forward for Gordon. Looked like she had a bit of space there. If she could have just maybe taken a step back, take it under control. She tried to flick it on. It's gone out for another Westdyke throw-in. Again, but this time it's Andrews there making the challenge. Smith with the header to Dean. Looks to play it through for Scott. He's made the run in behind. Again, it's cut out. This time by Ennis. I think it must be pretty close to the half-time whistle now for this delayed match. It is an Inverness throw-in though in the final third. Can they get another one before the break? Scott's certainly going to try and have something to do with that. She takes this throw-in. She's going to have another go at it as well. Let's take it a bit more quickly this time. Gives it to Dean, back to her. Ball into the middle. It's completely sliced, but Mackenzie's already committed to try and get in front of the defender. Andrews now with good composure to keep it down. But Scott is offside. The referee was right there and he's just waiting for her to get the ball under control before blowing his whistle. He knew straight away that he was going to give that. So there can't be a huge amount of time left, but Inverness do have the lead as it stands, 3-2. Thanks to Julia Scott's goal. Cordner to take this free kick, not long after coming on. Inverness get it back quickly, tries to switch the play, but believe that's Murray that got a foot in just to call the momentum off of it, and it's Ferry's now in down the right hand side again. She manages to keep the ball in. Dingwall's right there with her. Does quite well to shepherd her out of play, and it's a goal kick. Ferry has had plenty of space in this half so far, but Dingwall did brilliantly there to just ease her out of play. There's Gillies under pressure on the other side from Craig. Gives it to Andrews. Might be forced back to her goalkeeper. Nope, she looks forward to Smith, who can't get that one under control. Westdyke tried to move forward and get an equaliser before the half's out. Through from McCallan. Foot in there again from a red and blue shirt, although Deans takes her eye off the ball. Who's it going to fall to? It's an Inverness shirt. Manages to get a foot away. Smith, can she get it forward? Yes, she can. It's a 4-on-4. Smith moving forward with the ball. Gordon making the run through the middle. Tries to find her, but another interception from Westdyke. And now they try and respond at the other end. It's the ball through, and it's McCallan trying to chase it down, but Murphy's out to it well. Bit of a patch of play that almost sums up the half, really. Both teams looking dangerous, looking to move forward, but nothing quite coming off so far. It's an offside again. Here's Mackenzie, plays in Scott. I think she just about was offside, in fairness. Certainly not too many complaints from the Caley Thistle camp. So it's a free kick, and it's corner to take it again. Let's play it down the line. Gillies gets a strong foot in. Gordon takes it under control. Got a little bit of time to turn. Put under pressure well once she does, and has to give it away. Ambitious ball over the top for Westdyke. Goes out of play, and there's the half-time whistle. It's been back and forth half. Caley Thistle going behind early on to Leah Rennie's opening goal. They got back on level terms. Kirsty Deans and then Kaylee McKenzie giving them a 2-1 advantage before Sarah Murphy gave away a penalty, which Emma Murray quite calmly converted with a good effort. Wasn't all the scoring in the first 45 minutes, though, as Caley Thistle would get back in the lead before the break. Julia Scott making the difference so far. We're going to be looking to build on this when play restarts. I'm sure Cara Mason will have a few stern words for her side about the wayward passes and some defensive errors so far. Need to see if they can improve in the second 45 minutes, but for the time being, I hope you're all going and getting a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, making yourself a lot warmer than we are here at Inverness Royal Academy. We'll be back in a few minutes when the play restarts. we're back. Just about to get underway here for the second half. Cali Thistle have made a substitution. Alex Andrews has gone off and Robin Evans coming on. Didn't look like Andrews had any sort of injury issues, so it may just be a tactical switch. And we're back underway now. Dean's immediately trying to play it forward, looking for the run of Scott. It's a good ball because she does get there. Straight into the middle as well. Oh, Mulligan dropped it the first time of asking, but managed to take it in well at the second. Very nearly dropped it right onto the foot of Hannah Gordon. Could have been an early start for Cali Thistle. Slightly shorter half time than we're used to, of course, because of the delay to the first half. Get back underway just about on the time for the second. It's not going to keep you too much longer than you might have anticipated this afternoon. Here's Westdyke trying to move forward to get back into this game. 1 goal down, 3-2 to Inverness at the break. Gordon looks to switch it. Looks like Inverness are trying to play the ball a bit more quickly this time around, because that's come straight out to Bodiam. He does have a little bit of space. She manages to get back. Lind, she's through, but that's a good block coming in. Mackenzie there with the follow-up. Can't quite get on target. Referee just checking she's alright. It is a goal kick. Thought for a second he was thinking about the penalty, but it's definitely not, as it turned out. I think you can hear the atmospherics at Inverness Royal Academy of the wind and the rain. It's not great conditions for anybody to be playing in, but this is what we're going to have to get used to over the next few months. It's a sign of things to come. Here's Scott on the right, looks to play an early crossing for Mackenzie. That's not a bad touch, maybe he's forced her slightly wider than she would have liked. Gillies with the shot. Wide of the mark. It's a good start from Inverness. A couple of chances straight out the gate as they look to extend their lead. Goal kick again to Westdyke. It's gone straight to Scott on the right though. Let's play it through to Gordon. Played on by the defender who took the goal kick. Of course, that's part of the issue of having a defender taking a goal kick. Doesn't really fall for them there though. Here's Gillies trying to play it forward. It's coming to Harrismith. That's a loose ball. I think Gordon may have been coming back from an offside position. Certainly wasn't going towards that one. High kick forward from Mulligan. It's allowed to bounce. The keeper does get it clear though. It's Gordon chasing down this one. Mackenzie's there as well. Defender gets it away and it comes out to Ferries. Oh, that's just taking a bit of a knock there, but the ball has come through. It's going to be Rennie trying to get it. She gets there ahead of Murphy. It's gone through the keeper's legs and it's in. It is 3-3. A couple of defenders trying to get back, clear it off the line, but she managed to just hit it hard enough to get it in. Blow for Inverness after a positive start. The Westdyke players aren't happy. They think Ferry's hit by a shoulder in the build up to that. Cali Thistle on the sideline saying play should have been stopped because it was a head knock. Referee saying he gave advantage. Exact words were, "I'm not a doctor." He only saw it once, of course. Happened quickly. Saw a collision, thought it was a foul, played the advantage, then turned away from it, so maybe didn't see that Ferries was holding her head. Giving him the benefit of the doubt there, but we're going to have to play on. It's 3-3, back on level terms. Diagonal ball played through for Scott again. This time slightly overhit. It's quite often we see plenty of goals in the Championship North, but it's not always as even as it has been this afternoon. It's been a very competitive game, maybe more competitive than Inverness would have liked in all honesty, but that's where they are. Have to respond now. The throw-in comes in. Mackenzie wins it back, moves into the box straight away. I think was looking for Bodiam, who's going outside instead of into the middle, but has come out to her here. Oh, that's an important foot in there from Lind though. Bodiam trying to win it back. It's a good battle between those two. Ball played forward, headed by Dingwall. It's not really clear though. A couple of aerial passes from Westdyke. Come out to Rennie. Here's Brown now trying to play it through. Kept out though. And now Deans tries to move forward for Inverness. Scott makes a similar sort of run as she has a few times already this half. But it's a little bit behind her this time instead of in front of her. Same end result, Westdyke throwing. Gillies with the ball looking for Gordon. Over the top of her, but not properly cleared. Took a bit of a strange bounce, that clearance, but Westdyke have kept hold of it. It's a good pass and that's a good touch there. Brown trying to link up with the Rennie and Ferries. It's a good build-up play, but didn't get under control when it really mattered. Bodiam now trying to move forward into a bit of space, gives it to Mackenzie. Looks back to Bodiam. Gordon is in the middle if she could pick her out. Finds her. Past the near post though, tries to turn, just loses her footing a little bit. Deans to Scott. Scott, I think, caught in a few minds there of what to do, who to pass it to or whether to shoot herself. Westdyke moving forward here. Had 6 goals, they haven't been in the lead since the first one was scored. Clearance from Murphy. Bodiam does manage to keep it in, but can't take it under control to run with it. Westdyke move forward again. Tempted through ball in. Doesn't come off, and they've got the throw in out of it. Oh, that's a very wayward pass. It's going to be a Calais Thistle throw in this time. Evans has gone in at left back since coming on. Looks like Dingwall's gone into the middle of defence. It's her that took the throw in. Mackenzie tries to play it through to Scott. Really smart pass, but can Scott finish it off? She has to check back onto her right foot. She's done well to get past the marker. It's come out to Mackenzie, straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, that was a chance for Calais Thistle. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, Scott, at first. Mulligan did well to come out quickly, close her down. Mackenzie would have fancied her chances again with the second effort, the follow-up, but hit it straight at the keeper. Could have been 4-3. Not yet. Gillies with the throw-in. Down the line, looking for Scott, tries to nod it on. It's gone out of play again. Another throw-in, about 10-15 yards further up the pitch than they were. Every little helps, so they say. It's going to be the same story there again. Managed to get another few yards up the pitch. It's important just to build a bit of pressure on Westdyke here. It has been end-to-end stuff for the most part. Sometimes with some really good plays, sometimes just a bit of lack of quality, but if one team can get the ball down, have most of the ball, most of the possession in the second half, they're probably going to feel like they should win it. Here's Arrowsmith, looks to play it through. Gordon's trying to latch onto it. Keeper's come out a little bit. Gordon tries to square it to Bodiam. Good and important interception there. Clearance did come out to Deans, couldn't get the ball out from under her feet in time to get a shot away. Now Westdyke look to move forward again. Mistake by Dingwall, almost overran it there to clear it. Ball's come into the middle, it's an important challenge from Gillies, and then McKeever. Well, the free kick has been given against Gillies for that sliding challenge. It is probably within striking range here if Westdyke want to have a shot at goal. Certainly seen free kick scored from further out, but it depends on who they've got and how confident they are from this sort of range. Looks like it's going to be Murray stepping up to take it. She of course took the penalty in the first half that Westdyke scored to get back on level terms at 2-2. She does have Brown to her right and acres of space if she wants to play that option. Brown would be 1-on-1 with the keeper, and she does take that option. Dean's trying to get out to her quickly. Maybe just does enough to put her off because the shot is high and wide. Mason demanding some improvements from her side. Did have some serious conversations at the interval. Demanding more once again. Murphy plays the ball through to Bodiam. She's in plenty of space here. Gives her time to take it under control and play a pass, but it's a poor pass really. Has come out to Deans, who looks to play Scott in down the right. That one's just a little bit too ambitious. It was the right idea. We've seen in the past how Caley Thistle can have plenty of success with that sort of tactic. Getting the ball into playmakers in the middle of the park quickly, turning, playing it out wide. That hasn't really come off for them on a regular basis this afternoon. Bit more scrappy play in the middle. It's going to be WESTDYKE who take the ball forward. Playing the through ball. Looking for Rennie to go and chase. I think it is through the middle. Murphy comes out well. Decent bit of blocking by the defence, it must be said. And Deans moves forward. Plays it through for Gordon, who believe was offside. The whistle wasn't blown. Not sure if that's because it bounced off Gordon and went straight to a WESTDYKE player and he just wanted to play the advantage, or if he actually wasn't offside. Also had Bodiam as an option, making right to the left. Deans with the ball again. Looking for options. Dingwall now. Bodiam again wants it down the left-hand side. Here's Evans. Comes to Bodiam. Mackenzie comes short and gets it. Plays the 1-2. Gordon's making a run towards the back post. Can Bodiam pick her out? Mackenzie's now in the middle too. Bodiam tries to go past her marker. Wins the corner for her troubles. Going to be an in-swinging corner. Bodiam won it. Bodiam's going to take it herself. It was her delivery that led to Caley Thistle's second goal in the first half. Can they repeat that feat here? Ball comes in looking for Mackenzie. He's headed away though. It's an important block. Deans keeps it alive on the opposite side. Ball comes in from Mara Smith and Mackenzie's right there. Gosh, how did she miss that one? Inside the 6-yard box. She just hit the back of her foot instead of connecting sweetly with it, because she skewed that well wide. Keeper was right there, but you'd like to have thought anywhere other than straight at the keeper and it would have been in. Definitely still plenty more chances to come from both teams in the second half if play so far has been anything to go by. As McCallan tries to find Rennie with that ball. Just goes straight back through the middle. Deans again with a slightly wayward ball. Hasn't been her best game this afternoon, but she's such an important part to this Inverness team. If she can up her level for the rest of the game, you have to fancy them to win it. Dingwall now looking for options. Gives it to Deans. Gets the chance to turn. Picks out Gordon inside the centre circle. Poor bit of control though, gives it away. That's good work down the left-hand side for WESTDYKE from Craig. Skips past her marker, tries to go past the second, gives it to Rennie in the middle. There's a chance here, but that's a good block from Evans. Badly needed again. But for all the world there, like WESTDYKE were going to overload Caley Thistle inside their own box. So Mackenzie, right in front of us, tries to switch it to Scott and manages to find her. It's a good ball, good vision of what was going on in other parts of the pitch. The ball's come through now to Gordon inside the box. Squares it from Mackenzie! And it's in. 4-3 to the hosts. Mackenzie with her second of the afternoon. That could be a very important goal for Caley Thistle, not just this afternoon, but for the season in general, as I've said so far. Been looking to move up into the top 3 this afternoon with the win. Inverness going to make a couple more changes here. It's going to be Tina Kelly and Abby Ross coming on. It's Natalie Bodiam and Hannah Gordon going off. Like for like changes by the looks of it. You saw Kelly and Ross both scoring in the game at the stadium against Grampian. Both played very well that day. Ross in particular with a couple of goals in that first half. Some fresh legs in the attack for Inverness. Now that they have the lead, trying to take advantage of it. Really drive it home. A tough afternoon for Bodiam and Gordon, just gone off. Nothing quite fell for them the way they would have wanted to. Bodiam did look dangerous a few times, but kind of similar to Scott on the other side, a few overhit passes to her didn't really come off either. Here's Arrowsmith trying to drive forward, take advantage of a bit of hesitation in the Westdyke defence. Looks to square it, I think, but can't wrap her foot around it enough. And it goes straight to Mulligan and goal. Suddenly feels like it's going to be quite an important stage of the match here. If Inverness can really kick on now, extend their lead, will be out of sight by the time the full-time whistle comes around. If Westdyke can peg them back again, who knows what will happen. An offside there called. Not sure if it was against Kelly or Mackenzie for Inverness, but either way it's a Westdyke free kick. Mackenzie's not happy. Something with her hand, maybe a finger. Just been knocked out of place a wee bit, but play on, and she comes back to life here. Out to the left with Kelly. Can only really get ahead to force out of play. Also a slightly different element for Callie Thistle now with Callie on the left because she is left-footed. Be interesting to see if that means it's going to be a change in tactic, whether it's going to be a case of getting down the line, putting more crosses into the middle and trying to drive at defenders, drive towards goal. Here's Deans, goes past a couple of players in the middle of the park before it's cleared away there by Law. Westdyke moving forward with the ball now. Mackenzie looks to lay it off to Ross, but well behind her. Westdyke can try and take advantage now. It's Craig moving forward on the left. She has been a threat all afternoon with her pace, but she runs into trouble there. She's got crowded out in the end. Callie Thistle clear. Skewed clearance. Callie trying to put her under pressure. It's going to be an Inverness throw-in. I heard Mackenzie say that she dislocated her finger there, but it looks like she tried to get it back into position. She goes and challenges for that ball in the air. She's still not too happy with it. She's still feeling it, but it must be okay because she hasn't asked to come off. There's Ross now. Gets the time to turn, looks to play in Scott, but Scott hasn't made the run this time. One of the few times this afternoon she hasn't. And it's a corner kick. Scott's going over to take it. It's going to be Callie taking up her usual role inside the 6-yard box. You've got McKeever, you've got Arrowsmith, you've got Mackenzie. On the edge of the box looking to make a run in the middle. Deans is there as well. It's a low corner that's come all the way across just in front of Arrowsmith, but she can't quite get a foot on it to get a shot away. Cleared by Westdyke. It's going to be a Callie Thistle throw-in. On paper they have control of this now. They have the advantage. If they want to just keep the ball for the next wee while, might not be a bad option. The pass needs to be good enough to do that. A good few passes there, and it's Callie, it's through on goal. She's got Mackenzie in the middle. Ross too finds Mackenzie, and it's in. It's a hat-trick for Kelly Mackenzie, and it's 5-3 to Callie Thistle. The way this game has gone so far, that could be a very important goal. I think it's the first time either side have had a 2-goal advantage. Although saying that, maybe a bit of a blow here for Mackenzie. Straight after scoring, she's come over at the sidelines for a bit of treatment. And Westdyke are going to make a substitution. It's going to be Leah Rennie coming off. Has been a threat for them. Scored 2 goals this afternoon, including the first of the game. Can't just see yet who's going to come on and replace her. And it's Bethany Cochrane who comes on in her place. Still just a little bit of a delay here as we figure out what's happening with Mackenzie. She is going to come back on. She strapped up her fingers, so hopefully that'll be enough for her to see out the match. As Westdyke gets back underway, now 2 goals behind. Callie Thistle will want to settle for that though. I want to put the result absolutely beyond doubt. We've already seen this season a few different occasions how quickly a game can turn with a couple of quick goals. Here's Deans now. Finds Arrowsmith. Gives it to Gillies. Just about manages to keep it in by Scott. Looks to give it back to Gillies, but can't quite get it. And now here's Cochrane with the ball. Looks to play somebody through. It's Brown who picks up the space for Westdyke. McAllen tries to turn. It's out to the left where Craig is waiting. Cuts back on her right hand side, puts the ball into the middle. But Deans makes a good challenge there. Brown again, forced backwards though. It's given back to her. Evans trying to close her down. Doesn't get the ball. Cross comes into the back post. Offside's given. The ball was in the net, but the referee's given an offside. A bit of a let off there for Cali Thistle. Westdyke, as you can see, not happy at all. It's Cochrane just come on who actually put the ball in the net, I believe. But it will not count. It's a free kick for Inverness. It shows why having a couple of goals of an advantage of a cushion is so important, because Westdyke's still posing a threat. Still absolutely capable of getting back into this game. McKeever looks to play it through from Mackenzie. Pat's come all the way through to Kelly. Trying to win the ball. She has got the last touch on that. It's going to be a Westdyke goal kick. Got just over 20 minutes left in this half. Cali Thistle 2 goals to the good. McKeever picks that one up. Looks to play it straight through to Ross. It's a nice idea, but just overhit. It's going to be another goal kick for Westdyke. Looks like Westdyke have made just a positional switch more than anything. So their front line Craig's come over to the right hand side. She's had plenty of success in that left so far, showing how much of a threat she can be. Wonder if they've spotted what they perceive as a weakness in the Cali Thistle defence and want to try and make a particular change to capitalise on that. To do that, they're going to need the ball though, and it's an Inverness throw in again on the right hand side. It's Ross who looks to find Arrowsmith. Ball gets intercepted though. Arrowsmith manages to come round the back and take control of it anyway. That's a good ball through for Ross. She's got plenty of space to run into here. Mackenzie in the middle. Oh, but it's cut out by Innes. Came across well. She started the game at left back, nearly ended up back there to make that interception. Badly needed with Mackenzie and Kelly in the middle. And here's Mackenzie with the ball now. Looks to pick out Kelly at the back's just behind her. It's unlucky there, and here's Craig with the ball at feet. She's proved a handful for Cali Thistle to stop. Usually that is exactly how they've done it. They've just outnumbered her. 3-on-1 there, and they managed to get the ball off her. As Deans looks for options in the middle of the park. Gives it to Arrowsmith. It's going to go wide again. A little bit behind Ross, but she manages to get a challenge in to win the throw-in. And here she goes again down the right-hand side. Come back to Gillies. Now Deans tries to turn past Craig. Doesn't really manage it. Now here come Westdyke going forward. That's an interception from Deans. And Kelly manages to nick the ball. Here's Evans now. Gives it to Kelly. Tries to turn first time, but just turned into trouble. Now here's Craig. Got a bit of space if she wants it. Never really gets under control to do just that. Arrowsmith putting her body in the line there, stopping that ball with her face. I'm sure it'll be appreciated by her teammates, even if it doesn't feel particularly good right now. This will manage to snuff out that attack, and here comes Deans now. Looks to her left, she's got Arrowsmith. Kelly ahead of her as well. Ross with the run out to the right, but elects to try and find Kelly. Keeper's coming out and thinks she is going to get there. She does. see what Inverness are trying to do. They're trying to play in behind the defence, but too often so far this afternoon the pass has been overhit. It's gone all the way through to the goalkeeper or out for a throw-in. WESTDYKE trying to get this one clear. Callie just out of reach of it. Oh, if she manages to get that one, it's going to be a WESTDYKE throw-in. And somebody's going to have to go and get that ball. Last time we were streaming a game here was Nicola Ross, who wasn't in the matchday squad. Was still down to watch the match, still in amongst the squad. Who's going to collect them? He's not here today, so it's somebody else's job. It's going to have to go and collect the ball. Here's WESTDYKE trying to move forward and get a goal to get back into this match. Forced to check back a little bit here though, so it's McCallan on the ball. McCallan again gets it back. Allowed the time to turn. Tries to pick out Murray, but she didn't have a clue where it was. Knew it was coming to her, but didn't know if it was in front of her or behind her. It gave Callie Thistle just enough of a sniff to get a foot in and get the ball back. We're trying to take a little bit of time out of the game right now. Can't blame them for it the way it's gone so far. It's been frantic at times. End-to-end stuff. As Mackenzie tries to switch it to Callie. Callie's going to have the beating of the defender here. The keeper tries to come out. Just about gets there, but it's a loose ball with Deans. The referee stopped play. Deans' shot wasn't going to go in. Ross was trying to get on the end of it, but the goalkeeper's down. Goalkeeper might need a bit of treatment. Mulligan colliding with her own defender. She's paid the price for it. She looks to be in quite a bit of pain. No signal for the physio as yet, so maybe it just needs a minute. Maybe she's been winded with a collision there. This is probably the last thing that either team really needs, a break in play when it is cold and wet. Referee saying it's going to be a drop ball. Because he stopped playing, it didn't go out of play. It's an Inverness ball because they had possession last. Here's Callie with it. Gives it to Deans. Got options on her right and finds one in Gillies. Gives it to Scott, who tries to pick up Mackenzie in the middle, but that's too close to the goalkeeper. Maybe it's not a bad idea to test out Mulligan a little bit, see how she's feeling after that. In the same way that Murphy was, or looked to be struggling for the first few minutes after she had a similar collision in the first half. Scott just outnumbered on the right hand side for Inverness there. It's going to be an Inverness throw in. I think it's Deans that's managed to win that. Ross making the run down the right hand side. Can't find her. Here's Arrowsmith now. Turns into trouble. It does well to keep it live and keep in the battle for that though, but it's WESTDYKE trying to move forward now. It's Ferries with the ball. Swapped wings with Craig. We both had a bit of joy, to be fair. Ferries had plenty of space, plenty of the ball in the first few minutes. Opening exchanges. Clearly they've decided to try something a little bit different for the end of the second half. McKeever with a good foot in there to win possession back from Inverness. Tries to find Callie. It's intercepted. Here come WESTDYKE again. Evans with a bit of time to make an interception there. Goes down the line. Mackenzie's going to be onto this one. It's a good ball. Forced to check back a little bit, but she goes past the defender. Mackenzie moving forward again. Clearly not feeling too many ill effects from that dislocated finger. Here's Kelly now on the left. She's got Ross in the middle, in the 6-yard box. Tries to pick her out. It's come all the way through to Scott. Can she finish? Yes, she can. 6-2 to Inverness. A second of the afternoon for Scott. Well, you'd like to think that puts Inverness in the driving seat with around about 15 minutes to go. 3 goals for the lead. Another substitution for Inverness here. It's Kelly Mackenzie coming off after scoring a hat-trick. proud moment, I'm sure, for Rhea Hosick. Comes on to make her senior debut. She's been tearing it up for Cali Thistle's development side in the Highlands and Islands League, and she's going to have a chance here if she can catch up with this ball. Doesn't quite manage it. Mulligan comes out to take it in. Deans turns well in the middle of the park. She's got a few options ahead of her. Manages to pick out Hosick. Forced a little bit wider than she would have liked as she hits the post. She did well to get a shot on target there. It looked like it had almost run out of reach, but she managed to get a left foot on it. Nutmeg the goalkeeper. Beating her all ends up, but just didn't quite get it on target. So close to a dream debut for Hosick. Evans picking up the goal kick. That's a skewed clearance. It gives Hosick a chance, gives Ross a chance as well. But it is cleared away for an Inverness throw-in. Kelly takes it quickly. Gives it to Ross. It's a very young attacker in the line now, actually, for Inverness, thinking about it. I think all three of them may still be at school. Smith, I think, was trying to spray it out wide to the right, but lost her bearings a little bit and ended up kicking it out for a goal kick. Goal kick for Westdyke here. Mulligan started taking them the second half. Not entirely sure what the thought process was behind having Lynn taking them the first half and then Mulligan taking them now, but clearly the decision that's been made. So here's Inverness trying to move forward. Ross on the right hand side. Tries to check back onto her left foot and wins the corner in the process. Going to be Julia Scott to take it. Just a few minutes after scoring. Cali Thistle's 6th of the afternoon. Can she turn provider for a 7th? Ball comes into the middle. Let's come all the way through everybody. Just aim towards Ross, I think, and then Smith just flashed past her in the edge of the box. Here's Dingwall. Plenty of time to pick out an option, but that's an overhit pass. Gives the Westdyke a chance to move forward. Can't take advantage of it. It's Ferries who managed to get the ball and tries to play it forward. It's a wayward pass and goes out of play for a throw-in for Inverness. Tries to go down the line with Scott nodding it on for Ross. She gets it back. She puts it in the air. It's allowed to bounce. It's not always the best of tactics, but Westlake have gotten away with that one. Although here's Smith now. The good ball through for Scott if she can keep this in. Oh, it's just out of reach. Definitely the right idea. You could see Inverness starting to play those balls through the defensive line far more often. I'm getting a bit more joy with it as well as the legs start to tire towards the end of this match. And that may be why looks like Westdyke are going to make a couple of changes. Kiara Craig going off. Certainly one of them coming off. Well, it looks like they may have changed their mind a little bit on one of them. One of the substitutes that was due to come on is now going and putting a jacket on again. It's Caitlin Milne that's come on for Craig for Westdyke. As Inverness look to add to their tally for the afternoon. Here's Evans. Came on at half time, slotted into left back. Tries to pick out Hosick, can't quite find her. Now here's the substitute just newly on, Milne for Westdyke. Trying to use her fresh legs, but she can't get past Dingwall. Comes across to cover well, plays it back to her own goalkeeper. Murphy picks out Deans with a good touch. Gilly's now trying to move forward. She has got a few people making runs ahead of her. She's got a little bit lucky there with the ball through to Ross, but she comes towards the edge of the box. Shot straight at Mulligan. That's another knock. We've had a few of those this afternoon. Sometimes you get through a whole match without any sort of incident. Looks like a bit of cramp actually for Don Law. May end up with a few minutes of added time at the end of this, because there have been a couple of injuries to take into account. We are just into the last 10 minutes of normal time. Caley Thistle with 3-goal advantage. 6-3 up. Kaylee McKenzie getting a hat-trick. Julia Scott scoring twice, and Kirsty Dean getting the other one for Inverness. Had actually gone behind early in the game thanks to Leah Rennie's goal. For Emma Murray converted from the penalty spot to draw things back level at 2-2, and Rennie got Westdyke's third with her second of the afternoon. Again, I said it last time, there was a bit of a break in play. It's probably the last thing either set's players want at this stage. Having already been on for 80 minutes, having a delay to the match after a serious injury in the one before on the other pitch here, which was originally what Caley Thistle against Westdyke was supposed to be on. I'm sure some eagle-eyed viewers of the stream will have noticed that we're facing the opposite direction to what we normally are. That's why. But it did mean that delay, that players had to improvise a little bit for the start of their warm-ups outside the pitches while that was being taken care of. It's been a long, cold and wet afternoon for them. I'm sure may even be able to hear the rain at times and hear the wind on the stream. So Westdyke try and move forward and get a goal back here. Ferry's trying to get past her marker. She's got a corner out of it. There's been a couple of changes to that Westdyke front line too. They've got a few sets of fresh legs. It's going to be Murray to take this corner. Definitely seems to be the designated set piece taker. She took the penalty, she took a free kick earlier on, now she's taking this corner. Bounces before the first defender though, and here's McKeever trying to break forward after latching onto it. Ross does well to hold up Westdyke as they try and launch a counter-attack. There's a bit of indecision from Gillies. Allows Murray back in. It's a Westdyke throw-in. Ball comes out to Arrowsmith though. She goes past her defender and Deans takes over control of it. Looks to play it through to Hosick. She is offside. Bit of frustration there from the youngster that the whistle goes, but I think she was just past the last defender. She found the net anyway, but of course the goalkeeper had stopped playing at that point. Looks like Inverness are going to make another change. Their last one of the afternoon. Julia Scott coming off for Lauren Donald in the middle of the park. Charlotte Arrowsmith's going to go out to the right wing with Donald coming into the heart of the pitch. Has been a busy performance from Scott. A couple of weeks ago, one of the players of the match absolutely dominated things on the right hand side. Hasn't quite been able to have as consistent of an impact, but has popped up with a couple of very important goals for Inverness. Back underway, Deans with the header. Ross, good pressure from her, even as an attacker, to get the ball back. It's a high ball. Robin Evans under it, looking for Donald. Doesn't get it under control, although she does come back and win it strongly the second time. Callie now trying to move forward. She's got a bit of space to run into. She's got Hoslick in the middle. She's got Ross at the back post. And Arrowsmith there too. Kelly tries to go it herself. Just misses the target. Angle is always against her there with the left foot. It's always going to be curving away from goal. Doesn't mean it's impossible to score, but it does make it more difficult. That's exactly what she found. Just went across the face and wide of the post. About 5 more minutes plus stoppage time here in Inverness Royal Academy. With Caley Thistle 3 goals up. 6-3 on the scoreline. Here's Deans. looking for options around her. She gets it back from Gillies. Tries to pick out Arsmith on the right. Ball to feet this time rather than in front of her, and Arsmith does well. Deans tries to play in Gillies, who'd made the overlapping run. Gets cut out, but it's still a throw into Inverness. They won't mind that. As long as they're in control for these last few minutes, I'm sure they won't mind that at all. This ball through, looking for Ross. There's a defender there. Ross does well to keep it alive. Gets into the middle where Hossack is waiting, and it's a goal! She will be delighted with that one. Rhea Hossack, on her senior debut, has managed to find the net. 7-3 now to Caley Thistle. As Hossack picks up exactly where she left off from the Highlands and Islands League. She was prolific there over the summer as the Caley Thistle development squad lifted the league title. If it hadn't been for Caley Thistle's strength and depth going forward, you could argue that she'd earned a chance to feature for the senior team before the season. She's got her chance now. She's managed to take advantage of it. Surely that puts the result beyond doubt, but Westdyke still trying to go here. Of course, things could be quite tight by the end of the season. Goal difference could make quite a big difference. Caley Thistle want to make sure they don't concede any more from here either. That was a loose ball in the middle, but Deans does well to recover and gets in the way of her own pass. Let's come all the way through to Caley. A little bit of luck there, but she does have space now. It's a 4 against 4 for Caley Thistle. Hossack takes it under control. Allowed to turn. She gives it back to Donald. Gives it to Deans, who again surrounded quickly, but gives it to Gillies on the right. Arsmith's there with her too and gets it. Got a few different options in the middle if she can get a cross in, but just loses her footing a little bit trying to get the ball out from her feet. Still throw into Inverness, and Deans gets it now in the box. Donald wins it back after it was cleared. It's cleared away now. Here's McKeever. Forced a bit wide. Basically in a right back position there, the centre half. There's a couple of loose touches from Westdyke, and Caley Thistle have the ball back. Hossack trying to launch onto this one. Deans again trying to make the interception. Doesn't come off for either of them. But here's Donald with a bit of time in the middle of the park. Caley now. Closed down quickly, but it's another Caley Thistle throw. Evans gives it to Hossack, who's made the run forward. I think that's a speculative effort at goal. It's not actually all that far away, but it is over the bar. One of those that the angle made it quite deceptive. It looked like it was going comfortably off target, but dropping over the far corner. It wasn't really all that far away. Come into just the last minute or two of normal time. Westdyke still trying to go forward. Fair play to them. They were right in this game at half-time. Conceded a few in the second half, which really put the result beyond reach for them. They're coming forward here again. Mulligan's launching it forward. Looking for Farries, but McKeever does well to cut it out. Murphy in her final few minutes for Caley Thistle before she moves to Aberdeen. She'll be pleased to have not let in that many more in the second half. Caley Thistle switch it out to the left as Evans looks for Caley. Just have a bit of space to run into, but she is closed down. Cuts inside, changes direction well. Comes across well. It's a crunchy challenge. Thankfully she's okay. We've already seen one serious injury today at Inverness Royal Academy. We don't need to see another one. There's Hossack with the ball into the middle, but nobody really there gambling. Just opened up a little bit again these last few minutes as Westdyke try and get a goal or two back. Surely they can't get back into this one, but they're still plugging away. throw in for Westdyke on the left hand side. They've got another chance. Although Cordner doesn't realise it. She starts to run away from it. She now goes back to take the throw in. Deans makes the interception well. Putting body on the line again to make the interception with her head. Throw comes in now. A speculative effort. It's going to go well wide of the mark. Murphy decides to let it go out for a goal kick. No need to take any risks at this point. And there is the full-time whistle. It's an important victory for Inverness Caledonian Thistle as they move up to third in the Championship North with a 7-3 win over Westdyke. It's a hat-trick from Kaylee McKenzie, who was forced to come off with a dislocated finger. Hopefully that won't be too serious, won't keep her out for much longer. Julia Scott backing it up with 2 goals herself. Kirsty Deans with 1 in the first half, and Rhea Hosick on her senior debut, managing to find the net and stake her claim for a more regular spot in the side. Credit to Westdyke, they pushed Inverness all the way in the first half, made life difficult, kept battling away until the very end. But the points will stay in the Highlands. As I say, as Caley Thistle move up to third with eyes on going higher in the table. And their next match in a couple of weeks' time will be absolutely vital to that ambition as well. They have next Sunday off, but as I say, in 2 weeks they'll be back here at Inverness Royal Academy where they host East Fife. They're one of the few teams above them. I'm sure we'll be back for that. Hopefully it won't be quite as cold and won't be quite as wet. Be slightly better conditions for everyone involved. But of course you can catch the stream of that in the comfort of your own home where it's nice and warm. I'm sure we'll see you then. For the meantime, thank you for tuning in. And congratulations to Caley Thistle on the victory.